All right, so we met on Catholic Match, and right away when I saw his profile, it was like check, 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 like all the boxes. And unlike you, I didn't have unwavering faith that it was out there, but going to just like touching on what you said about I wasn't looking for Will, I made a decision that like if he does not have all these things on my list, then I'd rather be alone than settle. So it's okay if you don't have unwavering faith. Jackie will have it for you. You just need some faith and just keep going back to that faith whenever you doubt it. That's all I would say.
Mhm.
Because that can be really, really hard to have unwavering faith. And you might think if I don't have it, then forget it. But no, just keep trying,
No,
keep
no. Well, I know, and I love that you're being really honest and real about it because you're like, you guys, it wasn't unwavering; it wavered. You're like, no, but this is
it.
why no, and this is a community. Like I always insist with the women to stay in the community. Like I have weekly group calls, and I'm like, guys, remember it's out there. I'm like, friendly reminder, and like you would text me, and I'm like, yes, Brittany. Like I always held the vision no matter what, But I get it. I get how life can get. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that just to say is like the faith builds and you just have to keep
Yes.
choosing it is what I
Yes.
would
Okay.
say.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So but I did make a decision that if it and because you had told us this, like if they're
Mhm.
not on the list, it's a no. And I remember the struggle I had with that because I was like, oh, but there's a way I'm gonna meet the guy who has everything on the list. I'm gonna have to just like, this guy I'm dating, I'll just like it's okay, he doesn't have all the things on the list. Like I'll just go. And you kept being like it means bye bye. And that I needed you to drill that into me. So anyway, so I meet Matt on Catholic Match and we start talking and immediately it was like, wow, we have like everything in common. Um, we get on the phone from the first phone call. Um, I just felt just by the way we were talking, I was like, oh, I can be 100% authentic. And it's very rare for me to be able to be 100% authentic because I'll just say I'm not run of the mill. In the things I value and believe in my outlook on life is not run of the mill. It can be very controversial. So I'm like, sometimes I have to be careful with what I say. But I was like, oh no, this guy is on the same page as me, so I could be 100% authentic. So immediately we felt this really strong connection. And right away, remember going down for dinner. I was at my parents' house visiting them and telling my mom, I was like this guy, and that's amazing. And then we hit some struggles. So Matt on his end had his own, attachment wounds that he was also working through because I come from like the anxious attachment, he comes from the avoidant attachment. And I'll just pause and just like talk about that for a second because I had this belief that like I needed to be completely healed with someone else who was completely healed and secure attached and all that stuff, but that's not really how it works. Like we're all going to come in with some baggage and struggles. What is important is that you're at least at a certain point in your ability to work through those challenges together. That is a requirement. So if you're totally lost and have done no work whatsoever on that, like, yeah, go focus on yourself and fix it. But at a certain point, you're going to have to just accept that things might be messy and challenging and not play out exactly, the way my sister and her high school sweetheart, just like super easy, blah, 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 high school sweetheart,
No,
married, blah,
and
blah,
I love that you're saying that. I want to add to that because honestly, Brittany, like people see like Will and I, oh my God, happily ever after. I'm like, oh, by the way, it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies. I think it's really important for people to know that. And I was anxiously attached before I met Will. And so Will was a very securely attached person. I am anxiously attached. And maybe maybe I would say he was a little avoidant in the beginning, but not real. Either way, he was just out of a breakup, so it's complicated. So I'm like, oh shit, now I have to be patient. Does he not love me? Oh my god. So it's a lot of these like insecurities getting triggered. I think the biggest thing was me having awareness. I feel like you have a lot of emotional intelligence and you're very aware and you're like, okay, this is where I'm at. I want to be securely attached. This is how do we work through this? And that requires a massive level of communication. And so when people tell me they have struggles, I'm like, perfect. Like that's not a deal breaker. That's not a sign of anything bad. So many of my clients who have found love, it's always like, oh yeah, there was these bumps in the road. I even had calls with the couple together, like after they find each other. And sometimes I'll say, oh, yeah, this is a bye bye moment. And I'll tell the guy right then and there. And I'm like, yeah. Or I'll be like, oh, no, this we can work through it. Like, no problem. I just feel like what I love is your level of awareness and you're able to communicate with him and you guys are working through it. So tell me more. I won't interrupt you. Go ahead.
Well, I may have had the awareness to some extent, but I did not have the communication until you forced me to do it, and I was so reluctant. I was like, I don't want to say that because okay, so here's the drama. And by the way, I love that you say that like it's natural and normal to have the bumps and because that was not my belief. My belief was like it all has to be rainbows and butterflies. So anyway, so where Matt was coming from was his avoidance side was just this kind of like deep-seated feeling like, oh, protect myself, like it's not going to work out. So he was kind of more, passive and not really wanting to put himself out there and pursue me. And I had in my idea and my vision of like, this is how I want things to go is like, I want the guy to be like, boom, pursue this, that, you do take the lead, do all the things, da 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 da. And it wasn't happening. So we would be like texting and I'd be waiting for him to propose a phone call. And he wouldn't because in his mind, he's like, oh, she's so busy. Like she'll let me know when she's free. And in my mind, I'm like, I guess you're not interested. And so we both weren't communicating. And then I'm talking to you and you're like, just ask him for another phone call. And I'm like, no, like if he's gonna do it, he's gonna have to come to me. And you're like, just do it. And I'm like, fine. So I do it and I'm just like, whatever. I'll just like, if it doesn't work out, fine. I'll just listen to Jackie. Like always just listen to Jackie, even if you don't want to, just do it. And now, because you told me in the beginning, you're like, you're gonna not want to listen, you just gotta listen. And I was like, yes, ma'am.
No, but
So,
that is gold. And I love that and I remember that conversation perfectly. I remember that you were like, no, no. And I love that. I was like, girl, stop. And that a little bit more too. I do feel like women were like, we want the man and they're masculine. Like we want them to chase us. And I'm like, let me be crystal clear. Like Will is very in his masculine, but I had to give a green light. I had to, and Will went to MIT and he's like, babe, we're dumb. Like us men are dumb. Like you have to spell it out. So I remember like, you know what? You don't know what he's thinking. It's important for you to communicate what you want, what you would like, spell it out. And I love that you listened. Yay. Okay, so go.
so I listened and then the week later, that was when Will came on the call and said that to me, like, what men are dumb. Because I was still struggling with it. Like, even though I did it and we had the call and it was great, I was still like, but I still don't like the fact that I have to do this. And I was like, I don't want to spell it out. And it's so funny because when I would listen to like couples, podcasts, because I was studying it like law school, they would often talk about this common theme I would see where like women are like, I wish he would just know what I wanted. I wish I didn't have to tell him. And I remember being as an outsider being like, mm, why don't you just tell him? Like, it's not that big of a deal. But then now here I am, and I'm just like these women being like, I wish he would just know what I wanted. So that was an interesting situation to find myself in. But so Will gets on and he's like, just men are stupid. Sometimes you got to spell it out for them.
I
I even
forgot, and
talk,
I'm so sorry. I
yeah,
forgot that Will came, and I remember now that you said it, like, oh my God, Will came on. I remember,
yeah.
I'm like, I love that he came on and you heard it from him to get his perspective, like the guy's perspective. Okay, I love
I
this.
feel
Okay.
like, yeah, God wanted me to hear it again from the guy's perspective as well, to be like, just, cut him some slack. I even talked to my dad about it, and he's like, men are stupid, like they don't know what they're doing. And I think like you do have to give people grace in this early period because, I had this idea of what I wanted, and like yeah, there were guys that I've met that were like, boom, 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 boom. And I don't know, it just, they weren't the right match, or that characteristic of a guy can also come with its, its inverse, because every good trait has its,
Yeah.
opposing like pro and con, like every pro and
Right.
con to
Well,
everything.
and
So
also like,
yeah,
and just to add to that thought is that I feel like, Will, for example, he was not the kind of guy that would just come up to you like, you're gonna dance with me, like, oh, like
yeah,
he's not that guy. He's very emotionally intelligent, very sensitive, like aware. He's very like respectful of women and their
yeah,
space, and he would never assume. I feel like a lot of guys that I've dated in the past are more aggressive, are more like, I'll take what I want, and I'm like, oh, that's so hot and sexy, and I'm like, but is it? Like for a life partner, you want someone that is curious, that respects you, wants to know, is it okay for me to like approach you? I don't want to assume, because a lot of the times when men are coming from that angle, it's like their ego is kind of driving at the wheel, driving the car. And I love that Will's ego is really nowhere to be found. Like honestly, I could say that like 18 years later, like truly from the beginning to now, Will's ego is nowhere to be found. Like it's so wonderful how it's not part of the story. And the guys that I've dated in the past are massively ego driven. And so I feel like for you to have to just say, oh wow, I have to tell this guy, like I have to spell it out. I'm like, oh my God, this is a good quality of his. Cause he just reminds me of Will. I'm like, I had to spell out a lot of things. And by the way, Brittany, this is going to be forever. Just by the way, side note, you're going to have to spell things down. It's okay, right? You don't mind.
yeah, yeah, no. Well, now, I was gonna say, like, having gone through it, like, number one, now I see like what other characteristic, the respect, like it turns out all of this was rooted in his like deep-seated respect for my life, for my
Mm,
freedom, for my time. And he just, put, really just saw me so highly, and was like, I just want to respect that. And now that we've gotten through all that, none of those things are a problem. Fast forward, I now get to experience all the benefits of how amazingly respectful and loving he is in the relationship. And I've also gotten over like needing to spell things out. Well, first of all, I don't have to spell out every little thing
yeah.
anymore. But on the other hand, I've I'm like, oh, okay, well, here's the plus side is like I get to communicate what I want, and I'm with a man who's like, oh, thank you for telling me. I can't wait to do that for you.
Yes, yes, because he makes you a priority. You're a priority, your
Right.
happiness. He lives for your happiness. And you're
Yeah,
like, yeah, 100%. Just to know, so when did you match and when did you start dating? Like, what's the timeline here?
it's crazy. I will,
Hello, this is the Crazy Love or Nothing
yeah.
podcast, so it's perfect.
I'll just be fully candid because it's a crazy story. But so we matched in July. Was like a lot of things going on, so we didn't. I like disappeared for 3 weeks, which was a whole other part of our conversation where I kind of didn't give him a great first impression because I just disappeared for 3 weeks and then came back. Then we started talking in August, and then throughout the fall, we would just get to know each other on the phone, and just it was like so easy to talk to him. We would talk for hours. And it was very like very friendship based, like not a lot of like romantic stuff. It was very intimate, like we'd really, get into our, very raw, authentic, get into our past. And we were able to have these intimate conversation, but it wasn't like romantic about like me and you and me and you. So what's beautiful about that is like that whole period was just like us getting to know each other. Um, and then we stop our calls. So then now I'm on my own. Okay. So I kind of regressed a little bit, but that's okay. So because you probably would have talked me out of what I ended up doing, but it all worked out. So then I told him, like, he was like, I'd love to meet you in person. And I was like, oh, great, great. I'm in Chicago, he's in Philly. And I was like, I'm gonna be in New York. It'll be an easy trip over Thanksgiving. Here's the weekend I'm free. And I'm expecting him to be like, okay, great. I'm thinking we go Saturday night, do this, do that, blah, 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 and like make the whole plan. And he didn't make a plan for the date. So it's like Monday before the date, the weekend I said, I was like, and I like fully pulled back because I was pissed about him not, planning the date. And he's like, "Are you okay? Like, is everything okay?" And I was like, yeah, you haven't sent a plan for the date, and like this just isn't the relationship dynamic I want.
I would
Poor
never have
guy.
approved. I would never have approved
You
that
would never
message.
have approved that. You would never have approved that. I was like, yeah.
Just to be clear, she was no longer under my wing.
I was no longer under Jackie's wing, so I regressed. Um, we'll get to the rest of the story because God still had a way.
Thank
The
God.
day before the date, so then he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, of course I'll send a plan." Like,
Oh,
and called me that night, came up with a whole plan. He's like, "This is what we're gonna do." Great. I was still so pissed about it the rest of the week that the day before the date, I called him and I canceled.
no. Really? I can't. I can't. Your ego was at the wheel of that freaking car, like right off the cliff. Like,
Oh,
honestly.
100%. My ego, my expectations about like it needs to go like this. And like I didn't even know that about myself that I was like so like it's got to go my way and it has to look like I didn't even know that about myself. Like I thought I was so chill. No, I'm not. No, I'm
Oh,
not.
they're not.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
I love that
I
you're
was like, I'm
sharing
so
this.
chill.
I love that you're freaking keeping shit real and sharing all of this because I feel like so many women probably have done the same thing. So tell me how this got course corrected. Oh my God. So tell me what
Yeah,
happened
I'm
next.
I'm keeping it real because where we're at now is so strong and so solid and so beautiful that like I want other people to know that even if things look like crazy, that like you never know.
Yeah.
So okay, so then he's like, okay, I understand. And I was like, and then I was basically like wrote him this whole letter and I was like, here's what I want. Like you have all these qualities I want, but like you're not doing XYZ. And he was like, okay, well, I'll work on that.
All right. Okay,
And
Matt. Okay. I love
he was
that.
like,
I love
okay,
that
well,
response.
he's like, if that's what you want, then like I will work on that. And I was like, oh, okay, great. And then like a week, and then he starts like, uh responding well to that. And then a week later, I was like, listen, we just shouldn't talk anymore. Like you need to go work on this on your own.
Stop. You don't even stop. I can't.
By the way, he's a former Navy SEAL, so I always joke like, good thing you went through the torture training there. Because like you didn't you're not done with your
Because like
torture.
I'm like loving him. He's like, okay, these are the things I want to work on. I'm like, yay, Matt. It's like, fine. Everything's gonna be amazing. You're like, and then I said, no, like you go off. I'm like, wait, what? Brittany.
I know. I'm brutal.
Brutal,
Brutal.
brutal. Okay,
Brutal.
I'm obsessed.
Break his heart and then he break his heart. Like really, he was like, I see this woman as my future wife and like she just dumped me. And when
So
we
I'm
weren't
sorry, what
even
month are we in? Where are we now? What month?
that this is like end of November, early December.
Okay, okay.
So so okay, so I was like, let's stop talking. And he was like, and I was like, I want to be very clear with you. Like, you have everything I want, except for this, like, I want you to be more pursuing the relationship forward. I was like, that's what I need because I was like, here's what I've identified in you. You have these avoidant tendencies. I have these anxious tendencies. And I don't want a relationship dynamic where I'm chasing after you. I've made a decision that's not what I want. And
I like
if
that, by
I'm,
the way. By the way, I
yeah,
like that conversation's great. Okay, awesome.
yeah. So, and I was like, I want, I would love for you to, learn about your attachment patterns. Here's a book I've read that really helped me. Gave him the book, and I
What
was
was
like,
it?
I
Was it
think
attached or which one was it?
it not attached the original OG, Keeping the Love You Find,
Yes, yes.
like the pioneer of the attachment theory.
Awesome,
It's even
awesome.
more, I think it's like more rigorous than the attached book. So
Okay.
I recommend
Rig-
that one.
I'm
It's more rigorous.
obsessed.
Yeah. More rigorous reading.
I'm obsessed with this. And tell me he reads it. Tell me what happens. I can't.
Oh, he reads the book,
Or-
devours it, and then he's like, and And like we like stopped talking for a few days, and then I'm like detaching and I'm like devastated because I'm like, oh my gosh, like ugh. And then because I'm like saying goodbye, but then I just keep thinking like so and like and I'm like opening myself up for other dates, but I'm just like I don't even want a date because I keep comparing them to him because he has everything I want except for this one thing. So I was like, I'm just like not even gonna date right now. I just want to like not go through this right now. So a few days later, and I just like text him like I'm just like, I just want to remind you that like I really do hope you come back and like I hope that like this like, and I was like, I really do because like I know I've just shattered all your hope that this would work out. And but I do want you to know that like I do see this happening. Please come back if you feel ready, like to act the way I want you to. And he was
Wow, but that really required a lot of vulnerability from you. I'm really happy.
It was easy. It was easy because I felt so safe with this guy from the beginning.
Love
So
that you
all
did.
vulnerability that followed, just, I mean, obviously I had to get to a point where that I was comfortable with that, but also part of it was him being my match, was I
Yes.
felt and him being so safe to talk to that I could do that. Like I don't think it would have been that easy if it was someone I was mismatched with.
Right. Of
Um,
course, of course.
um, so uh so anyway, so then from there kind of opened the door to us like like just still talking here and there, but as friends, because we're like clearly not dating. And he's like tells me like my goal is to like he's like sending passages from the book, and he's like the book says like we need to like build vasopressin and like my goal is to get to the point where we could like build vasopressin together and like work on these challenges together. And I'm just like, wow, like who is this guy?
I'm
Like
obsessed. I am obsessed. He's doing his homework. He's showing
doing
up.
yeah, and he's just like, this is my goal, and he's going after it. He's taking action, and I'm just like really impressed because part of it too that was like coloring this whole situation was the past trauma from dealing with avoidance. So I was like, oh, you have avoidant tendencies. Bye. Like I can't deal with this because they're like from my past, they were all like uh unwilling to change.
Yeah.
The
Now your hand is raised now. Wait, lower it. Because you put your hand up. Wait, I think I can do it for you.
do
I got it.
that.
I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Go on.
So so then I'm like, well, okay, so maybe he has avoidant tendencies, but maybe he's not so avoidant that he's incapable of being in a relationship.
Love
And
this.
so
Okay.
I'm all right. So I'm scarred and terrified of like what would happen because, what happens when I'm no longer a chase and I start to love him? Is he gonna then have that classic avoidant where they're like, oh, sorry, you love me, now
Exactly.
I'm away. So I had all these fears surrounding my past experiences. So I was very like worried about that. Um so I was like very reluctant to like pursue and to attach to him. Without kind of knowing he was stable enough to be able to do this healthfully. So anyway, so he keeps just
And just to be clear, Brittany, all this time you guys have talked, you've emotionally connected, but you guys were never exclusive boyfriend girlfriend.
correct.
Okay, so you guys are still getting along, and obviously, like, question, you don't have to answer this or not, but
Yeah.
like, I know people wonder this. Physically, did you guys ever connect physically, or is it just emotional?
No, no,
Yay,
not
because
at
you
all.
guys, that's a rule of mine. Yay.
Yeah.
Well,
We
it's
actually
also,
hadn't even we
yeah,
still
but that's
hadn't met in person at this point because I
oh,
canceled the
oh,
date.
oh, that's right. So at this point, you have never been met in person. Okay, exactly. So there can't be any physical. Okay, good. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay,
Which was amazing because none of that physical, and also part of the reason I didn't want to go on the date was out because physically, I'm very attracted to him. He's very attracted to me. I knew that if we meet in person, we're going to attach immediately,
yeah,
and it's going to make it so much harder for me to like, for us to see clearly because we're going to now be like more attached, and
yeah,
there's this issue that's bothering me. So I was like, no,
yeah.
I don't want to bond closer until we're at a point where the list is really met.
Wow, I love that. And but also just side note, and you were really aligned with that rule of mine. Like I'm really slow, like I'm very intentional about physical connection being on the side. Like it's really about emotional connection. But I feel like you went over and beyond. Like
Yeah.
before I even see you, we are
Yeah.
going to be aligned.
I don't think that has to be the
Yeah.
case, but given how much we'd already connected and had
Right.
so much in common and how deep we were emotionally bonded, I knew the moment we saw each other in person, it was going to be if we didn't have a solid foundation, we might get, attached
Swept
and
away. And you guys did do
yeah,
video chats too, right? I remember you
yeah,
said that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So okay,
yeah.
good.
And yeah, and it was yeah, and so this is why this story is crazy, and just wait till the end of it. You're gonna really think it's crazy. So then we get to so then we just keep okay, so he's doing the work, he's like showing up, and I remember just being in mass one day and just feeling this like overwhelming like I just like care about this person so much. I just want to like, you know, give him some more tips about like what else I've done to help heal these things. And so I'm like, well, so we start talking more and like get back into like the like this like growth process, healing, spirituality. Like he's Catholic, I'm Catholic, so we're both very focused on God and like I'm just like, let me just share more about this battle because it's not like I've, it's only been a couple months since I've really like made these enormous changes. Like you can do it too. Just like like out of my love for him that I felt as like on a friendship level, I was like, I just want to like share with you, like, here's what I did, here's what you can do. So we just start talking more and more. He like sends me a really cute Christmas card and he's like, so we're checking. So he's just being so sweet, but it's all on this like understanding of like, we're just friends because I'd already like dumped him. So it was very just like, we're just friends here. Even though obviously there's so much more.
Yeah.
And we're both saying to each other, like, you're the kind of person I'd want to marry one day, but with this understanding of like, but there's this thing in the way. So we keep talking, talking, talking. My sister and one of my really good friends, the one I'm trying to get on to work with you.
Hello, if she's not signing on after seeing what happened with you, girl, like what?
She is. It's happening. I'm
Okay, good.
determined.
Good, good.
They're like watching me text him all weekend, and they're like, "Who has you smiling like that?" And I was like, first of all, I didn't even know I was smiling like anything. But apparently, every time I'm texting him, I've got this big smile on my face, and at that point, I was already feeling like back to being attached to him. And it was just this like lack of clarity in the direction of the relationship because now we're in this like friends zone, but we're
Uh-oh.
bonding.
Not a
Like,
situationship. Not a
I was
situationship,
like,
right?
I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to pull the plug. So I wake up Monday morning and I'm journaling and I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. So I oh so kindly sent him a 6 a.m. voice note on a Monday morning, being like, by the way, I just think we should stop talking, by the way. No big deal. And
I'm dead. I'm dead.
he's like, are you kidding me? Like, I just can't. This is like what he's like going to work and he's like so stressed with all this stuff going on at work. Now he's got to go to work and I just like ripped his heart out and
And
he's
I'm
like,
sorry,
okay,
and we're in this like after Christmas. Where
early,
are we?
early January,
Early January. Okay, got it. Got it.
early January.
And I'm sorry, he
And
lives in Chicago. You live in
Chicago and he's in Philly.
okay, that's what it is. Chicago. You're in Chicago, he's in Philly. got it. Go on.
So then, and by the way, he later tells me that the day before that happened, he said to God, I love her. I can't protect my heart anymore. Like, I'm just gonna go for it. So it was literally after he decided to open his heart to me and like just go for it that I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go now. And
Well, like who's the avoidant now, Brittany?
I know, because I started to be like, I think I also am now being the avoidant. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm starting to be the avoidant now. I did have that thought. And he called me out on that. And he was like, okay, I feel like you're giving a lot of hot and cold right now. And I would love to just like talk about this. And I was like, hot and cold, hot and cold. How dare you? Like, I'm not hot and cold. And
Oh my God, I would love it.
and I was like, well, I wouldn't be hot and cold if like you created safety and direction in the relationship. So but I didn't say it like that. I said it very much inside. That's how I said it. But then when we actually spoke on the phone, I was like, here's what I feel, here's what I need. I need like direction and like I need it to be going somewhere or we're done. And he's like, I thought you didn't want it to go anywhere because you dumped me or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, it's gonna be. I was like, yeah, true, but like,
So bad for Matt.
I know, poor guy. He's a warrior, clearly. He's a warrior who
He's
can
a warrior.
obviously suffer a lot of pain.
Oh my God.
So then finally we're like, all right, I'm like, all right, how about this? I'm going on vacation. Let's just take a break from talking and then like we'll figure it out. And so I'm in the Uber, I'm going with my parents, and my parents are, and I can't stop talking about it because I'm like, oh, she's bothering me. And so I'm talking about it again, and my mom and my dad's in the front seat eavesdropping. My mom just goes, oh, for crying out loud, just go on the date with the guy. What's wrong with you? And I was like,
I
and my
love your
dad,
mom. I love your
and
mom.
my
I'm obsessed.
and my dad's like, yeah, Brittany, like, what's the matter with you? Just go on the date with the guy for crying out loud. Like, he's just a dude. Like, they don't know what they're doing. Because I'm like, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. Um, and they're just like, stop being ridiculous. Go on the date. So I text him jokingly, like, LOL, my parents say we should go on a date. And he's like, I think we should go on a date. And I was like, oh, okay. All
Love
right,
it.
let's go on a date. So we decide, okay, we're gonna go on a date. And then he's like, well, I guess we don't need to stop talking if we're gonna go on a date. And I was like, okay, well, we won't stop talking. So we keep talking. And then I get on vacation and I get this overwhelming anxiety. I'm like, oh my gosh, now I'm letting him pursue me after I decided that like, oh, he has to go work on himself. And I'm like, what if he's not ready? What if he fails? And then I have to break his heart. And I was so worried about hurting him and hurting myself and attaching too soon if he wasn't ready. I was panicking. And I said to God, I was like, God, I can't take it anymore. I I can't take it anymore. I was like, I don't know what to do. And I just felt this like calling, like, just turn your fears over to me and then don't you do anything. You stay in your feminine, you stay in your passive, in your receptive mode, and just let him see what he does. See what he does.
I love
And
that.
I
Yay,
was like,
God. God came through. I love it.
God came through. So I was like, okay, God, here are my fears. I'm going to stop swirling in them. They're all yours now. You know what I'm afraid of. I'm going to sit back and relax and allow him to step up. If he can, we'll move forward. If he can't, we won't. And I did that. And then the rest is history because he had done all this work for the last, like, month, very focused. He was praying, he was reading, he was all the stuff. I didn't think it was possible because I was projecting my own issues onto him where I needed years of work to
Right.
fix this stuff.
Right.
He wasn't so bad of a case that like he needed years. Like he could figure it out in a month. And plus he'd also been doing a lot of other healing before then to
Yeah.
get to this. He just needed like a little bit more on like the how to pursue a woman type of
Yeah.
stuff. Wasn't as deep as I thought it was going to be. So he steps up. He's just like pursuing, leading, driving the relationship, moving it forward, being more and more vulnerable, telling me how he feels. And he's basically just like, my heart is set on you. I've made a decision. You're the one. I'm not going anywhere. It's up to you if this doesn't happen.
Wait, at this point, did you guys go on a date yet or not?
No.
I'm obsessed with this story. Okay. And then what did you do when he said that to you?
I'm just like, oh, thank you. I'm like, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. I'm like, because I was still afraid
Yeah.
too, but I
Yeah.
also had very strong feelings. But so, okay, so then we're just talking nonstop, and now we're falling in love, just like on the phone
Mm.
remotely while I'm on vacation. Um, and uh, and I remember he made this one joke that was like, oh, in the SEALs, they would always make this joke, like they would all throughout the training program be like, in the unlikely event you graduate. And they would make that joke all the way up till like the day before you graduate. So at that point, well, in the beginning it wasn't a joke, but at the end it was a joke because of course you're gonna graduate. So he makes like a joke like, well, in the unlikely event we get married, haha, like because he wants to talk about marriage, but he's trying to also qualify it with like, I know, I'm not trying to pressure you.
Right,
Um,
right.
but I freaked out. I got so anxious. I was like, what do you mean unlikely? Why are you talking to me if it's unlikely? And he's like, it's a joke. It's a joke. And I was like, I don't care. It's a joke. Why would you joke like that? And he just, the way he responded was like, he was like, okay, like just like ask Jesus to show you my heart. And like, he was just
Oh.
such a rock and just like so sweet. And all he cared about was like, make sure she's not feeling afraid. He wasn't defensive. He wasn't
Yeah.
whatever. And he alleviated those fears. And I all of a sudden felt better. And I was like, okay, that was a huge moment. And he's like, of course, I don't think it's unlikely. Like, I feel like I have hope and like, I'm excited about it. So then I'm like falling even deeper. I'm like, okay, he's safe. Come back from the trip. We meet on the date. Immediately, it was like surreal meeting him in
What
person. It
day is
was,
this? What day?
this is, this is now Sunday, mid-January.
Mid-January. Okay.
Mid-January. We meet in person and um we just have it was like he drove in a snowstorm. He prayed for snow. It was supposed to be like cold rain. He prayed for snow. It ends up being this beautiful snowstorm. We go to mass together, and the whole homily is a 15-minute lecture on holy matrimony. And we're just
Stop.
sitting to each other like this, like looking at each other, and he's like,
Oh, I'm obsessed. I have goosebumps. I love this story so much. I'm
so
obsessed.
then, so then we just have this beautiful date, and at the end of the date, like at this point we already were in love. I was just waiting for him to say it, and I could literally see it on his lips, and I was like, "Is he gonna say it?" And then he like didn't say it, and I was like, and at this point I was so surrendered because part of being anxious is like you want like control, and you
Mhm.
want to like you want that it's and I'd made a decision. I'm surrendered. So I was like, whatever. If he doesn't want to say it now, I know he feels it. He'll say it next time. And then he gives me a card and like chocolates and like a t-shirt and like all these sweet gifts. And it was like so cute. And then I opened the card when I got home, and on the card it says, "You're the one, love you forever." And I was like,
Ah,
it was so sweet. I know. And so
cute.
I call him after and I'm like, I love you too. And then now we're saying I love you. Um and then that was it. Then it was just like, okay, we've broken past the fear, and we've already established like everything, we've this deep friendship and challenges together, and now we're like romantically. Oh, he asked me to be his girlfriend then. So he asked me to be his girlfriend,
Love it. Have you guys kissed at this point?
and we kissed that day. Yeah.
That's important. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
chemistry, there's that physical chemistry too.
Exactly. Yeah. No,
Love it.
definitely. We've kissed. We have the physical chemistry. That's 100% there, very much so. But even still, we were very much like keeping it to the side because we want to not focus on the physical and just
Yeah.
keep it about the
PG.
relationship.
It's PG.
We're PG. Um, and and then and so eh, eh, okay, so then basically that's it. We fall in love, and I go back to Chicago. He's in Philly, and we're talking every night on FaceTime for 3 hours. We can't stop talking. We're just obsessed with each other, so madly in love. And he's then talking about like, all right, well, so next step is like, I guess we should like talk to a priest about like, marriage. And I'm like, I'm like, I think I said this to you. It was like my mantra. I was like, if he can't propose a phone call, how can he propose marriage? And now here he is, like talking about marriage. And I literally was shocked because I was like, I thought you were so that like this was never gonna happen. I thought it was gonna be like a slow, 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 but it
Right.
was like, and I think that's the thing with avoidance, is like once they do feel safe and kind of get over that original fear, they are
Yeah.
there to like give you your heart. And then we start talking about marriage. It's kind of joking at first. Then he's like really serious, and he's like, I like give you my word. Like I've made up my mind. He's like, obviously no pressure, but like I've made up my mind. Like I want to marry you. And then I'm just kind of like, eventually, I'm just like, yeah, no, you won my heart. Like I want to marry you too. And then the next, on the date, he's like, I'm like, what are you doing for your birthday? Which is February 8th. He's like, can I visit you in Chicago? And like all the things like pursuing, moving forward, yada yada. There it is. And I'm like, yep, okay. So he visits me in Chicago, and we come back from it's Saturday, February 7th. We come back from an Uber, and the Uber's like, is this it? And I'm like, uh, no, this is not my apartment. This is the wrong address. And then he's like, no, we're gonna go. I was thinking we go on a walk. And I'm like, it's like 15 degrees. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is he about to propose? We
So you're
both,
just to be clear, this is the second time you guys are now seeing each other. Yeah, she's
yeah. Well,
nodding.
he came that Thursday.
Okay.
And then so we hung out Thursday, we hung out Friday. I texted my sister like, I can't wait to tell you guys everything. It's just been so amazing. And like my sister, because we've been talking about getting married, and I was talking about it with like my sister. And she's like, well, don't you want to like spend more time with him in person? And I was like, well, yeah, of course, but like I already know. And
Yes. And by the way, side note, I'm a huge believer. There's that quote that I always say from Abraham Hicks. It's not about timing, it's about alignment. And I feel
yeah,
like people like will propose on our 6 month anniversary. Like none of this is crazy when you're so aware of alignment and when you know
yeah.
what you want and you guys are aligned. I'm like, hell yes, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. And once we met in person and solidified the physical, like, okay,
Yes.
being with him physically, it was literally just a box that was checked. Like, what more did you really need
Right.
when you have the depth of his soul, his heart, his mind? Like, okay, the body, yeah, we're physically great, check, easy. Um, and at this point, so Thursday, Friday, we spent together. We were just like, couldn't, never not holding hands, just like, just glued together, so natural, so easy, so in love. And so then he gets down on one knee and proposes. And then my parents come out. Behind my back, he asked my dad and my mom to lunch. He met them on my first date, our first date, by the way. Asked them to lunch, asked for my hand in marriage. Um, coordinated with my sister how to do the proposal, and then he proposed.
I love this so much. I am so obsessed. Did you just die? Like, how did you feel? Were you just how did you?
Well, I knew he was going to propose because we had been talking about it. At this point, we
Yeah.
were like fully planning, like I like reached out to a wedding planner, and we like picked a date and everything. So like
Yeah,
I
you
knew
by
he was
the
going to
way,
propose.
side note, you text me like I don't know when, and I can look back, but
I
you're
think
like
it was, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
text me like there's something that I don't know, I'm not sure, and it's, oh, never mind, we've proclaimed each other, proclaimed our love for each other. I'll reach out to you once we're engaged or something like that. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, Brittany is amazing. I love this. I was like thinking, oh my God, I love this. Like engagement. Yes, Brittany. Like I was like, she feels so sure. And then like a week later, like soon after, like we're engaged. I'm like, wait, what? It was like very quick. And I'm like, I'm obsessed with this. I love this.
Yeah. Well, my parents got engaged after 6 weeks, and they're still together. And
Yes.
and it's like we did all the stuff that was
Yes.
necessary to get to that point.
Yes. No,
And
no. Fully, just to be clear, I fully support this. There's not one
amazing.
ounce of me that thinks it's too fast. None of
Yeah.
that. Because I
Yeah.
really feel like you've done that inner work. You have complete clarity. I feel like I just trust you and your judgment. I know I'm going to love Matt. I have to meet Matt.
Oh, you're
I'm going to
gonna
be obsessed.
love Matt. Oh,
Yeah.
you're gonna love Matt.
Yeah.
He's the sweetest man I've ever met in my life. He's probably like Will. But yeah, and we spent hours talking. I mean, hours and hours and hours and hours talking. So
Yeah.
we really got to know each other. Um, and yeah, then we got, and how did it feel? It's so crazy because like I knew it was coming, but like something about it becoming like real and official was like just like what's happening, like this is crazy. I don't know. I was like expecting it to be like not a big deal because we'd already basically agreed to get married. So I was like, oh, it'll be no big deal. It was really like overwhelming and exciting and
Yeah. Show us the ring. Show us the ring. Look, oh, stop. Amazing. He did amazing. I am
yeah,
obsessed with the ring. I love
I
it.
love it too. I love it too. It's so classic.
It
So
is.
now we're getting married and couldn't have done it without you.
I am so happy for you, Brittany. And I appreciate you sharing your story. I love you so much.
I love
Ah,
you so much. And I can't wait for like telling everybody, everyone I talk to, I'm like, who's single? I'm like, you got to talk to Jackie. I didn't believe it at first. I'm super skeptical. I'll just say one last thing. I was reflecting on and everyone being like dating coach, what's that? And I just think like in this, time we're in where there's like the loneliness epidemic and everyone's got baggage and trauma and like relationships are very strange and social media and endless options and yada yada that like I I I just want to say that I think you following your calling, what God's calling you to do is such a blessing to all of us because your work is so life-changing and so important in this world. It is just so much more than like what people might think dating coach. Like you are changing people's lives in the most profound way. And I'm just so grateful that you stepped up to the call that God gave for you and that you pour your heart into this and you excel. And there's such a need for you. So thank you for everything you do.
oh my God. Okay, so I'm crying now. I love you so much. Thank you so much. And that means a lot to me. That means a lot to me.
I love you too, Jackie.
This is the best. I think this is my favorite podcast episode I've ever had. You're so fun, and I just love you so much. I love you so much.
I
So,
love
what? No
you.
pressure, but have you like even thought about a date for your wedding? I just,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we've already got everything. But we've got the church, the venue, we got the wedding planner, it's all going. August.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with this. I'm so happy for you. I love you so much, and
I love you so
I
much,
cannot
Jackie.
wait to share this with everybody. I just love you. I'm so happy. Like I'm on another level right now. I'm like it's just because it's such a beautiful blessing for me to go after the feeling that I had, go for the call. Will having an amazing partner to be in my corner. I'm like, yes. And it's been like literally just 3.5 years of doing this, but just seeing the magic happen like this. It's the most rewarding thing seeing you, such a beautiful soul, such a beautiful person, find this level of happiness. And I'm like here for it. I'm just so happy. So I'm so blessed. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for trusting the
Oh,
process, for leaning in.
Jackie, I can't believe it's only been 3.5 years. You are crushing it. You already have like 40 success stories in 3.5. You really are incredible. And I'm so grateful for you. I'm forever indebted to you. Thank you so much. I love you so much. You're just the best.
Yay. You're so welcome. I love you. Thank you. And thank you for being here. One day I'm going
Thanks
to
for
meet
having
Matt.
me.
We're going to do a
Oh,
double
yeah.
date. Will and Matt are going to
Oh,
love
yeah.
each other.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't wait. I love that. We'll visit you in Spain. Are you
Yeah.
still in Spain?
Yes. I'm in
Okay, great.
Madrid. I'm in Madrid. So, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Oh,
Thank
thanks for
you.
having me, Jackie. This was so wonderful.
Thank you for doing this. I love you so much.
Mwah. Bye. Okay.
Yeah. What was that?
Okay. I just was saying I could not have done this without you, and I cannot believe that you were right the whole time
Of course, I was right.
about everything. You were right about everything. I was wrong. You win.
And now you win. You
Now
see?
I win.
Yay. Love you, Brittany.
I
Thank
love you, Jackie.
We'll talk soon. Keep me posted on everything,
I
please.
will. I
Okay.
will keep you posted. Absolutely.
Okay.
Mwah.
Love you.
Love you.